Hi, I'm Darnell Nunn. I'm the president of MEMO.
Hi, I'm Mikyla Smith and I'm the vice president of marketing for MEMO.
Hi. Where are you from and what year are you?
I'm from Olive Branch, Mississippi, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm from Belzone, Mississippi, and I'm a junior.
Why did you choose to major in engineering?
I chose to major in engineering because my father's an electrician and I always had hands-on experience with things. And more so, I wanted to know the knowledge of how things work. So that's kind of like my gist of why I majored in engineering.
What made you choose mechanical?
At first, it was graphic design. Then I changed to electrical when I started doing first robotics. And then I kind of thought like, hey, electrical isn't what I want to do. I want to know more of the mechanics. I want to know how things work, and I want to know basically the entire background of things. So that's why I chose the broad field of mechanical.
I've always loved doing math and problem solving, and I decided to attend a summer program back in 2018, and it gave me more exposure into the engineering program and what they do and how they solve problems, and I just really loved that exposure, so I chose to major in industrial at first, and then I found out more information about mechanical and how we would get a broader range of opportunities, and I just liked that about mechanical, so I could experience a little bit of industrial and electrical and not just one of them. That's what I love about mechanical.
What is your experience like at MSU, and what do you enjoy the most?
My experience has been great. My freshman year was really good, and then we got sent home for Corona. But overall, I just love the environment because the teachers are so helpful, and you can go to them for help or advice and get general information about your major. And I just love how helpful everyone is. As a first generational college student, I didn't really have much background information, so the exposure here is really good.
My experience at MSU is kind of sort of everywhere. I have played a big role in organizations. I'm the president of MEMO right now. I did a summer bridge. I was an RA. I'm an engineer recruitment leader, so I kind of have like my hand in like a bunch of different organizations around campus. Most of the time in engineering, but I have stepped outside the boundaries of engineering a few times. And I think my role as RA has given me a lot of, I would say, purpose, because I got to mentor engineering students for 2 years when I was an RA at Hearst. And that was a major accomplishment to me because I had younger students to look up to me, and I was only maybe a year older than them. So, and the thing I enjoyed most is, I would say, my cohort of students, like my peers. We always get along. I can always go to them for help. I can always go to my advisor for help. It's easy to find help here at MSU, and I think that's the best thing here.
What advice do you have for high school students looking at engineering?
The advice I have for them is to kind of step out and get some exposure like you said you did. Attend a summer camp, do some research online, watch videos. It's kind of like finding their place beforehand. And I know it's kind of hard to say if they would like that beforehand, but I would say to kind of like go out, reach out for help, ask people around them, talk to former students, talk to current students as well. And it's easy to get help from the engineering department here if you're a prospective student, because we have engineering recruitment leaders. So it is a big help to prospective students.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely say get exposure, or as much exposure as you can before coming to college. I'm not saying it would be too late to change your major because even I did that, but if I would have known more about mechanical beforehand, I would have came into state majoring into that. So yeah, attend as many summer programs and seminars and get as much research as you can.
Engineering keeps you busy. How do you unwind?
I like to unwind by being still. I like to sit, watch TV, or read something because most of the time in college you have so many organizations and meetings that you have to attend to. So I like to take my time to just be still.
Yeah, I think my way of unwinding would probably be like it used to be video games, but I haven't played any video games this semester just because I'm taking a break from it. But what I am taking a big part in is I have a project card, so it's kind of like enhancing my mechanical skills, and I really enjoy doing that. That's something I like wrenching on my car. I painted my car. I did a lot of work on it, so that's kind of like my unwind time, like during weekends, or maybe after class or after work.
What is MEMO? Can you tell us about the mission and what kinds of things you do?
So MEMO is the Mechanical Engineering Minority Organization. Our mission is to recruit minority engineering students in mechanical that are majoring in mechanical engineering. And some of the things we do, we try to bring the minority students to build a cohort. Because once you have a cohort, people that you're familiar with, you won't be afraid to ask those people for help. You can reach out to those people because someone may have taken a class before you. You can mentor someone after you, a freshman student, because most of the time when freshmen come into college, they really know their way around. Like they need some type of guidance, I would say, in any shape, fashion, or form. And that's really what we're pushing, kind of like building like a big friendship within everyone. So.
Besides MEMO, Besides MEMO, are you involved elsewhere on campus? Have you done a co-op, internship, or research?
I have done a co-op. I completed my first co-op at Hunter Engineering Company. It was a great experience. I learned a lot of stuff there. I would highly recommend doing a co-op. I learned to weld there. I had a daily task, which gave me a sense of like, I had multiple daily tasks, which like gave me a sense of purpose in the company, even though I was a co-op student. I went in, I used things that I learned from chemistry when I never thought I would use chemistry in mechanical engineering. I did titrations in the water levels for the paint line. So that was one of the really big things because at the end of the day, they painted all of the parts that were manufactured in-house. So that was kind of a big deal. And I'm glad I did that. I enhanced my skills. I got to work in a manufacturing company. I saw like how the real world would look on an everyday basis by doing engineering work. As far as campus, I was an RA for 2 years, which enhanced my skills socially and professionally because I was a mentor of roughly 300 students, girls and boys. So that was a big accomplishment for me as well. I'm an engineering recruitment leader, so we speak to prospective students that are thinking about coming to MSU for engineering. We speak to a lot of parents. We have VIP guests. And it's always something good to tell everyone about your experience here if they are potentially thinking about coming to college.
Tell us more about someone or multiple someones who inspire you.
I would say the first person I always think of that comes to my mind is my 8th grade algebra teacher. He was a big person in my life. He kind of coached me through school. He was my mentor. He always helped me outside of school as well. Even now that I'm in college, we still communicate. And I think that's something special. As well as my father, he kind of got me to be the person I am today.
Someone who inspires me would be Miss Georgetta Carr. I met her through a friend. It's her mom, and she attended Mississippi State as well, and she majored in mechanical engineering. So it's been very helpful to have someone that close to me that I can ask questions to, because she's been in my exact shoes, and she's been an amazing mentor, like educational and outside of school. So she very inspires me.
What steps can people take today to help improve the number of Black students who pursue engineering?
I would say more exposure and going to talk to schools, because before I attended the engineering program that summer, I didn't really know much about engineering. So I think going to schools and talking to them and sharing more about how engineering isn't this big scary thing, and if you really put your mind to it, you can accomplish it too.
Right, I completely agree with that. I think K through 12 outreach is one of the biggest things that engineering can do. Engineering is fascinating, especially to younger minds, because if a student sees how I can make this thing levitate without doing much, that fascinates them. And especially with K through 12 outreach, because there are various steps that you can take with each level to fascinate someone. I'm still fascinated by things that I see in college that are done with engineering. And as well as going to speak with schools. 4-H is a big community outreach program in Mississippi. So I think if there was an engineering portion of 4-H, where there is robotics, but just a specific engineering portion dedicated, I think that would be a big outreach as well. Because 4-H is in a lot of schools, and 4-H houses a lot of different places and counties in Mississippi. And as well as high school students, speaking with them one-on-one would be a good way to pursue them, to get them to pursue engineering as well.
Okay. What are your future plans?
My future plans, I plan to attend graduate school at Georgia Tech. I want to get my master's in biomedical engineering. I have worked at the T.K. Martin Center for Technology and Disability, and that has opened my eyes to a lot. I think there is room for improvement in the technological. They need advancements in their equipment. There can be advancements in their equipment. I think every device has room for improvement, and that's one of my biggest things. Improving the devices that disabled people use to make their life easier.
I hope to get my bachelor's in mechanical, and I hope to get my master's in mechanical, but I'm still a sophomore, so I don't really have everything figured out yet. But I know that I will get experience from like an internship or co-op. But as far as future plans, I just know I want to be doing calculations somewhere.